students in order of the Erasmus Plus project. We've made 4 different proposals for you and also included the fact on how to implement it in our school systems. In the end there will be a short summary of all our proposals, but first we will introduce ourselves. My name is Esme.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Amanda. I'm Paula. I'm Darlene.
I'm Stuart.
The 4 proposals we're going to talk about are more interactive learning, decreased amount of homework, relationships between students and teacher, and peer support, and in the end, as I said, there will be a conclusion.
Encouraging students to take part in class discussions will not only give students who learn best in that environment an increased chance of learning the content, but it will also increase their confidence. It also keeps the class in the same level regardless of their ability. Teachers should also have regular one-to-one meetings with the pupils to help stay on track with their schoolwork, and it could also be used later to implement personalised learning, although this could be time-consuming.
Using a variety of mediums in classwork is also beneficial towards students' learning, as it helps keep them engaged. Resources such as videos, games, debates, and presentations are all worth considering to make learning more interactive for students of all abilities. Also, a high level of communication is necessary so teachers can ensure that all students are keeping up with the work and nobody is falling behind the rest of the class. With an increased sense of interactivity in classrooms, students will inevitably become more motivated.
So most of the time homework is thought of as a punishment. As a matter of fact, a lot of students don't even make their homework, or at least don't consciously learn from it. The thought of a huge pile of homework is highly demotivating and brings a lot of pressure. Therefore, we think it would be a good idea to decrease the amount of homework to keep students motivated. First of all, we will show you our proposals on how and why we want to decrease the amount of homework, and furthermore, we will talk about how to implement these in our school systems.
Yeah, so the first proposal we have is that students do not have to do any more or less homework than they need it for them. So they decide themselves how much work they want to do and how much work they need to do. If they think they're good enough at a certain subject, they don't have to do that much work or not even like any work at all. Because of this, they are able to make their own choices and reflect on their own level and ability, and there is scientific proof that this is highly motivating. It makes students really want to do something, which often leads to good results. Also because they learn to reflect on their own ability more. They will see their own improvement, and this is very motivating too. Think about playing a video game, getting better and better, passing level after level, and physically seeing your improvement. This motivates you and gives you more confidence. The same thing would happen if we would teach students to reflect on themselves more.
Students should be encouraged to catch up at home, but should not be given extra to learn. So what we mean with that is that teachers should encourage students to finish their classwork at home, but if they haven't finished it yet. They should tell their students to catch up on the subject at home as much as they need. They do not give them any more mandatory work, so students will not feel like the pressure to work on a subject if they don't feel like it. By doing this, students learn to get more self-discipline, and which is necessary in their future lives. Teachers can encourage them by giving them good feedback on their work afterwards, so students will then feel appreciated and cared about, and will also get the feeling that they are making progress, which benefits their motivation as well.
Yeah, so you might think that students will not learn as much from their time at school when they do not do as much homework as they do right now, simply because they do not spend as much time on school as they do. But by increasing their motivation in general and their discipline as well, and the more interactive way of teaching we talked about before, their time in class will be spent much more efficiently, and they will not need to spend as much time on their school. Also because of the more practical and active way of learning in class and having students discover the curricular knowledge instead of like listening to a teacher, theoretical practice will just like not be needed as much.
Yeah, the third point we focused on was the teacher-student relationship. We think that students and teachers should do things together, like create a colorful classroom or working on the school garden. And we decided that they should have a joint breakfast every month, like it's the last Friday or something like that. So they spending the break together and get to know each other. Moreover, they should be called by their first name, because we have the impression that teachers have an overriding role. So if you call your teacher by their first name, it will be more personal, and maybe pupils will dare to ask questions if they don't understand something, so they are on the same level. The third point is that they should have more meetings with students on individual basis, like every semester, and talk about aims or problems and how to handle pressure. And so they should use the sandwich principle, like you first tell something positive, then you say something like the things you have to improve in, and after that you say something positive as well. So, yeah, the fourth point is that if you have a close relationship with teacher, you will be passionate for the subject. So if you're interested or not in the subject, always depends on the teacher. So if you have fun in lessons, you will be more motivated to learn new things. And the last point is that students are more likely to ask questions when on a good terms with the teacher. So they shouldn't be shy or shouldn't be afraid of the teacher. So there will be a relaxed relationship which leads to better results, because pupils will ask more questions and are more interested in the subject.
What students can do to improve relationships? Make friends. Seeing your friends is a reason for you to go to school, so it motivates you when you have better relationships to other people in school, or of course to teachers. Learn together. You have time in school to make some study groups, and it helps you to learn. Feel appreciated. For motivation, it is helpful if you also look for the things you're doing right. This way you appreciate what you already learned, and you get the feeling that you are making progress. And show your interest. Show your interest in every subject, and show the teachers that you want to learn. Students will be more active in lessons and get better grades.
Okay. What teacher can do to improve relationship with the students? It's really important that you and your teacher can joke together and have fun sometimes. That's mean really much for the students, that you and the teacher can come and talk together of everything. And it's also good that your teacher can give you feedback. It means she give you response. It's good that you and the teacher can talk together. Every teacher see difference, so the teachers have talked together about the students. Because your teacher maybe don't see the things you do at other lessons, so they have to talk together because they have differences. And yeah, the teacher have to get the students feedback. It's mean really much for the students. discussion will also encourage students to help each other, and sometimes somebody explaining a different concept will help you understand it better, and students who talk to peers about their learning are more likely to be motivated. And peer tutoring is also important, as if seniors help the younger students, then this could be a good this could be encouraged by using an incentive, and the younger pupils could look up to the senior pupils as a role model.
We also believe that healthy competition can be a useful tool for increasing motivation, as it helps students to aim higher in their courses, and it helps form peer relationships and reinforce concepts. It makes learning an easier and less intimidating process if competition is kept consistent in classes, and increases motivation in general.
So, in conclusion, our proposals are fully focused on how to motivate students and why this is important. We think decreasing the amount of homework is one of the most important steps for a school to really benefit the motivation of students. Students will experience less stress at school and at home, and this will make their motivation a lot better. Also, it is important to us to create a better relationship between students and teachers and to make it more informal. By doing this, students will feel more comfortable at school, and this will benefit the learning environment a lot. Also, students who are given more attention and feedback are much less likely to fall behind on the schedule and curriculum, and will therefore feel more confident and motivated. However, peer support is necessary to create a supportive and efficient learning environment, and if this is not very good at the school, this might not work. Yeah, I think this is all we wanted to tell you guys today, so thank you